Well, a very good morning, a good afternoon, or even good evening, everyone. I'm DJ Sean, and welcome through to the Monday Night X-Plane stream. If you haven't seen me before, hi, I am DJ. I'm a charity streamer. I do this to raise money and awareness for charities throughout the year. And this month, we're raising money for Beyond Blue, which is a fantastic Australian organisation that tackles the tough battles of dealing with anxiety, depression, and suicide. So, absolutely rapt to be supporting a fantastic organisation like that, tackling mental health. But not only that, to go above and beyond and actually be raising some hard-earned cash there at over $67 for our final charity of 2018. And as I say this, I note to myself that Daz did remind me to update the Twitch page with the latest charity, which I have forgotten to do again. God damn it. Oh well, I will get there. I promise, Daz, if you're watching, I will get there. We've got some all important motion lotion for the flight, so it should be a good one. And what a flight we have in store tonight. So it is Milk Run Monday, typically here. Well, it's Monday evening here in Australia, which means there's a VATSIM event typically online between Sydney and Melbourne. We are scrapping that for the flight today. We're not going Sydney to Melbourne. We're going from Bergen in Norway down to Hamburg in Germany. So we are in the TBM. The sun is coming up here in Norway. It's a little bit dark outside. It's actually quite late in the morning. It's about 9:30 or 9:50 in the morning or something, I think it is here in Norway at the moment. So obviously being quite high up, it is darker in winter for longer. So we're doing a flight down to Germany today. If we have a little bit of a look at a chart to give those of you who are not really familiar with where we are and where we're going, if we zoom out a little bit, you can see the UK here on the left. You've got Norway up here, you've got Sweden, Poland, and then you've got down here Austria and Switzerland, France, and all the rest of it, and Germany just over here. And you can see we are over here up to the north and flying down to the south. A little bit of a note about today's flight. I don't suspect we're going to get into Hamburg. The weather is quite bad. We are in the TBM here, as you can see. It's a little bit dark here. I do apologise. There is another TBM there, but unfortunately Tron, who's flying with me, seems to be in the ground. Unfortunately, Tron, you need to turn off follow runway contours in X-Plane to fix that problem. But we are here on the deck in Bergen in the TBM. Another little change to the flight today is xEnviro. So we've been flying over the last number of days since release, and you can see my launch video where we take the first look in configuring Active Sky over at my YouTube page, youtube.com/DJSean00. But I thought we'd do a switch for those of you in the X-Plane forums as well as the xEnviro Facebook page. You'll know that version 1.10 is coming down the pipeline pretty quickly at us, so I thought I'd do a flight in 1.09.
And his name is John C.
Mr. Fox. Mr. Fox, thank you so much, buddy. Welcome to the stream. Unfortunately, I do have to disappoint you for today's flight. While New Speedy is 100% right, I have accidentally broken my headset and it's currently away for repairs. I should get it back within the next week or so. So we are on the desktop for this one. But we are in xEnviro for this flight. So you can see the sun coming up behind the aircraft here, just peaking, just almost ready to peak out over the top of those mountains there, and some awesome clouds. We've got some nice cloud textures here. If you're not familiar with xEnviro, I do encourage you to go and take a look. And the purpose of today's flight is to show you through a variety of times or a variety of sky conditions from dark to dusk, from dark to dawn, into sunlight, daylight, and a variety of weather conditions. So here we've got some scattered cloud, and we'll go through the flight plan in just a few minutes. Some scattered cloud, and we're actually going into some quite bad conditions into Hamburg. So let's get into it. This aircraft doesn't really like being on the battery too long, so we'll go ahead and review the flight plan a little bit ahead of time. So we are operating Sierra Alpha Mike. It's a TBM flight. It's about an hour and 41 minutes. We're carrying a little bit of extra stuff that we don't really need to worry about, but we are taking full tanks. So on the ramp here we have about 768 kilos of fuel, so that is full tanks for this flight, and with some payload we've got a zero fuel weight of 2.4 tons. We can skip all that. We're within the envelope, and we'll set that up visually within the sim, so we'll skip that, unlike flying the 7.3 or the 7.6. We are climbing up to 29,000 feet, or flight level 290 for this flight today. Once we get up there, the wind's fairly calm. It's only 234 degrees at 7 knots, and a shear rate of just 1. It's interesting given the weather around Europe at the moment. Shear rate of 1. There's a whole bunch of crap over the UK at the moment. That looks like it's slowly being pushed across to the rest of to Europe. So maybe we are just missing some of that. So shear rate of anything greater than 6 means we're going to have a pretty bumpy flight. Shear rate 1, we should have fairly smooth conditions once we get up there. We are carrying a bunch of alternates for this flight, and you'll see why in just a few minutes. I'll skip the contingency summary for now. This is the business end of the flight plan. Typically in a jet you'd see me using this as our FMC data entry page. But the important part when we're flying the TBM is knowing that we are doing a distance of 433 nautical miles for this flight at flight level 290. We've got all our wind data for our waypoints. This flight plan is not applicable to any of that stuff there. This is the actual flight plan. It's got all our waypoints, including our top of climb, top of descent, and any step climbs that we should do. We're pretty good at referring to this. I'm not really needing to refer to this unless we forget to put the fuel caps back on the TBM. Hey Leroy. We are carrying a primary alternate here as well. So we'll come on and hey, ground point 9er. Cheers, buddy. That's a really porno music, that. Thanks for the host, buddy. I really do appreciate it. Welcome everyone to the stream. We are very quickly flying from Norway, from Bergen in Norway down to Hamburg in Germany. We're using a different weather engine this time, xEnviro, and real weather, obviously real time, and the weather in Hamburg is absolutely garbage. I'm flying with one of my followers here, and we both suspect that we won't get into Hamburg. We'll probably have to divert, but we'll give it a crack anyway, a red hot crack. Dart, why did my charity button work? Oh, and welcome to the stream, Dart. And I don't know why. I'm a shambles streamer. I'm poor quality. Just turn off now. Okay, so getting to the all-important weather here. And you'll see what I mean. Look at this. So we are here in Bergen. The wind is 150 at 6 knots. A good visibility. There's a few clouds at 4,000 feet, which we can see out that window there. We've got some broken cloud at 6,000 feet. It's rather nippy. It's only 3 degrees up here with a dew point of -5. Wow. QNH 1015. No significant weather forecast for the next little while. And yeah, you can tell that by the TAF just there, looking relatively good and stable here in Norway. The destination, on the other hand, excuse me, I am coming off the back of a cold, guys, so my voice does get a little bit croaky every now and again. So the wind is 090 at 4, so there's an extra fluffle wind. It's also variable between 060 degrees and 120 degrees. The visibility is just 2,500 meters. There is mist is BR, right? It's scattered at 200 feet. Overcast at just 300 feet. Not a cold, the dreaded man flu. It was the man flu. It knocked me on my ass for about 2 weeks. The temperature is 0 degrees. The dew point is 0 degrees, just what you want. Perfect conditions for fog. QH is a little high, 1018. Excuse me. Looking at the tempo here, so looking at the I guess the forecast and the TAF looking a little bit beyond that. Again, the wind is going to remain next to fuck all. That visibility is going to be pretty bare. We're still going to have mist and overcast at 400 feet. This is going to be an interesting flight. I don't know if we're going to get in here. There is a tempo that is active with that visibility dropping from 2.5 kilometers to just 600 meters. There's fog. Good morning, Drip. Hello, welcome to you. Welcome to the stream. There's fog and it's overcast at just 100 feet. There's also a probability of another tempo here of 30%. Notice, Drip, we're in the TBM. We're back in the TBM for this flight. We're going from Norway, from Bergen in Norway, down to Hamburg in Germany, where the weather is pretty dreadful, as you're just going through just here. All that's for much later on. We don't really need to worry about it. So all in all, it is starting to fine up there for a little bit. So we might catch the tail end of this. But we'll see how we go. At the moment, the weather in Hamburg is garbage. Proper garbage, which is what we like to see, right? We exactly right. Hey.
Now the numbers match. Cheeky smiley face.
Cheeky smiley face. There we go. Thank you. I really do appreciate the donation there. 100% of everyone's donation does go through live to charity, and we donate it. Does go through live charity? Does go through 100% to charity, and I donate it live on stream at the end of the month. So thank you again, and I appreciate the making it all match up there. 69. Really appreciate it. Thanks again. So getting back to the plan here, the alternates, we've got I have no idea how to say that. Esebjerg. Is that J is silent, right? It's like a Zerg or something. Denmark. Or we've got another position where we've got what are the auto-generated light winds, better visibility again with the mist. Yeah, but that's looking pretty good. We'll probably get in there. That tempo is active, broken at 1200 feet. That's easy. We could divert there. That's looking a little bit lower cloud there. Overcast at 900 feet. Visibility's in. That tempo's a little bit late, but we could probably get into there. Scattered at 700 feet. Back to Denmark again. We could get into there as well. So we've got some nice alternatives. I did pack a whole stack of alternates on, actually. Germany, that one's looking good as well. That tempo is not active till later. And that guy, yeah, that guy is also good. So yeah, either did I. Cheeky smiley face. If you did like 8 and like heaps of equals, and then a little bit, like a dick pic, like in text, would it say, thank you for the donation, need to make the numbers match, cheeky dick pic? That'd be pretty funny. Sorry, I'm being a little bit immature there. Okay, so looking at our vertical profile now. So as you can see here, pretty clear conditions. That's why we saw a shear rate of only 1. There's nothing up there besides wind. You can see us tracking over a whole bunch of terrain here from the left of this chart down to the right. Our climb up to 280, tracking along, and then our lovely descent. So that's why we've got a shear rate of only 1. It's pretty good. We should have some fairly smooth air once we get through this cloud above us here. And we'll just bring the chart back in, and you can see here our route starting from the top of the chart and working our way south to Germany just here. Okay, well that's the flight plan review, guys. So we'll go ahead now and start getting the aircraft ready for our flight. Artie, welcome to the stream. Good morning. Hello and welcome. Just a bit clarify, guys, the sun is starting to come up. Look at that shot just there. The sun is coming up here in Bergen, Norway. We are using xEnviro, so it's going to be interesting to see how it goes. We have got Tron, who's in the ground, one of my followers and a great supporter of my channel, flying with me, and he's on my Discord. You still there, buddy?
I'm still here.
All right, sorry for taking so long.
Nah, you're good.
All right, so he's with me. We got a big beer here, so that's helpful. And let's go ahead and get the aircraft configured. So let's get rid of the chocks. We'll grab the brakes, put the park brake on, into the payload manager, getting rid of the tyres. All the tyres are now off. The chocks are off. Fuel, bringing the fuel up. Remembering to click back on fuel so you close the tanks, otherwise you take off with the fuel caps open and bad things happen. How do you do co-pilot? Liquid courage is always necessary, absolutely. How do you do Copilot? The Copilot is using Smart Copilot, which you can find by Googling explain Smart Copilot, I'm pretty sure. Okay, the payload, we've got, excuse me, 3 people, and we'll just bring you down, you're a little bit fat. And these are all guys that are looking good, and we'll chuck 40 kilos in the aft and just have a bit of a check here. We are well within the envelope, and we can go ahead and close you and close you. So we are set up now, and things are looking good. So what we'll do is we'll close the door over. How do I set it up? Actually, that's a bit of a tutorial in itself. It's rather not rather involved, but you do need to put profiles for the aircraft. You need to have pretty much the same scenery as your fellow co-pilot, same version of the aircraft. So it does get a little bit fiddly. It's not something that it's not like a 30-second answer to that question. Lock the door. Okay, let's get going. So we need to go on with you. We need to get some panel lighting here. Get a little bit of access lighting going here while we wait for everything to boot up. The flying with a co-pilot, especially someone who's really knowledgeable in the aircraft, and then training someone up, is a fantastic way to teach people. If you can get your sims going together, which is a little bit fiddly, it's well worth it. I guess it didn't show, but subbed again. Oh, Grand Point Niner, thank you so much for the sub, buddy. Did it not?
Warning. Okay.
Are you sure you did? Because it didn't come up. Let me just double check here that my system that I run hasn't cocked up and forgotten it. Because if it has, I can manually do it here. No, the last alert I got there was a rate of 5, Ground Point 9. I'm not sure what's going on there. Oh, Twitch Prime, maybe I've forgotten to add something. Well, again, a manual thanks, a personal thanks there, Ground Point 9. Thank you so much for the sub, buddy. I really do appreciate it, and love your videos as well. They are a good pastime with me when I'm sitting there. I'm meant to be writing reports when I'm sitting there with my iPad, listening to you guys, having a lot of fun. Especially when you're controlling. You guys have way too much fun controlling when you get there on TeamSpeak or Discord there with all your guys there, and you're having a bit of a laugh, so that's really good. So thanks again for the sub, I really do appreciate it. Okay, all right, let's get going. So enter down here. We are on VATSIM, yeah. Get some, yeah, xEnviro does like to chew your frames, and I'm down here I'm down at about 36, 37 here in xEnviro in the TBM now that I've powered it up. The TBM is a little heavy on frames itself, and then with xEnviro on the top, which is a replacement weather system. Not like Active Sky that just punches weather data into X-Plane and X-Plane visually displays it. xEnviro does all that stuff outside the sim, and it's a whole replacement to the weather engine. And that's why you get a little bit of degraded performance with xEnviro. And in the latest version of 1.09s, we are getting a little bit of degraded performance as well. So we're down to about 36 FPS. We were running at about 45, 46 before we powered up the TBM. All right. Let's go into the flight plan. Oh, we need to menu and delete that flight plan. That is the wrong plan. Enter and delete you. So we want to go to that guy there, enter, and we want to go to you and activate you, which we have. We have a departure of the Tuxic 3. So let me just go ahead and get some charts up here real quick while we wait. Airport briefing, no. Airport chart, no. Airport briefing, where is the airport diagram? There it is, right there. So 1.5, so it's 1.7. We'll put the ILS for 1.7 there, and we need a SID. The Tuxic, what is it? The Tuxi 3 Charlie. The Tuxi 3 Charlie. There we go. All right. So let's go ahead and pop that in now. We can get rid of you, and then I can bring you guys up and see what everyone's typing. We want to go procedures, select departure, and we want the taxel. There we go. 3 Charlie. 3 Charlie. Enter. Load. And we go through all the waypoints that's there and just make sure that that takes us to Texas. Where we start on our route. That looks about right to me. Go ahead, get rid of the flight plan. We'll go and declutter this a couple of times. Just zoom it out a little bit and zoom it in so we can get to the map just there. Okay, so now we are ready to go. Tron, I'm going to go ahead and start up. Okay, so over to the checklist. This aircraft does a fantastic job with the checklist. So manual override control. That's this guy just here. It's a little bit hard to see, and I do apologize, guys. The sun's coming up, so it's a little bit dark. So you got a manual override, which is a manual override here that bypasses the governor of the engine. So you need to be careful with this guy. He needs to be all the way in the back position, which he is. Whoops, that was the wrong button to push. Check. Throttles are cut off. The power lever, it's given the lever of fun or whatever it's called, is all the way back in cut off. The strobes will come over here. I just put the nav lights on for this aircraft before I line up. So check that. The Ox BP fuel switch. This aircraft does like to start with a lot of fuel, so we'll go turn that on. Should hear it, which we can. Check that guy. The propeller area is clear. No dogs, no Tron that we're going to run into and hit. And the starter. Okay, so we're looking for 13% and an ITT of less than 150 degrees around 20-second mark. So timer, start the timer. Up here to the switch. 1 potato, 2 potato, 3. Up she starts. There's 13%. 1 click. Yeah, there we go. Up she comes. Watching the ITT that we don't get a spike here as the engine comes up. And NG around 52%. Plus or minus 2%. 55.5, that's close enough for government work. Check the starter is automatically off, which it is. The engine parameters are checked. We're not on the GPU. Throttle to flight idle. This is where you test whether your parking brake is enabled or not. There we go. Check the engine parameters again, and the Ox BP goes to auto. Okay, generator switch, we've checked we are on main. We should have a bit of a spike here, which we do. We've been on the battery for a little while, so we should expect some high bat ampage, which we do. Okay, check the generator switch to standby. And then back to main. That's all checked out. The AP trim switch, that's this guy here, he goes all the way on. And the auto fuel switcher. Oxygen supply, we need to check. We get the oxygen test there, and we got 1,518 on the pressure there. That's checked out. The display backup button, that's the red guy over here in the corner. We push him, and we get the display backup. Push him again to go back. Turn the checklist back on. That's checked. The bleed switch down here, turn the bleeds on. We can hear the bleeds coming on. The AC is on auto. I'll adjust the fan a little bit, just give a little bit of temperature change there, just how I like it. So AC push, the pressurized mode switch is on auto, which it is. The control selector as required, the temperature as required. The hot airflow was checked. The standby instruments, we had a QNH here of 1015. We'll go ahead and set 1015 just there. Altimeter settings checked. Pitch, roll, and yaw. We are quite heavy today, so we are going to put the pitch properly over here, and go and chuck the rudder trim, which is this little guy here, and we're going to put him into the green, which you can see just there. So we put him in the green and him in the green. Check the de-icing panel. We're going to move you out of the way. Pilot pitot heat for left and right, the stall protection, and we'll put the inertial separator on now. What do we got there? Thanks, Drip. I appreciate that. What do we got? Do we have a QNH 1016 now? 1016. 1016 plus your 1016. About 180 on the elevation. That looks about right. Okay. Check and check. Okay, that is good. We're ready for our taxi. Before we do that, we'll quickly set the heading to runway heading, or the heading of the departure, which is heading 170. Round of 170. We've got 170 set there, and we go up to 28,000 feet, so bring you all the way up to 28,000. So no, 28,000 or 29. Tron, was it 28 or 29?
29.
29, copy. 29,000 feet, which we've gone and set there. Flight director is on, nav is on, the taxi light is coming on. The passengers, they're all good. Nose wheel steering is fine. CAS and LFM, landing fuel elevation system, LFME, we've got set. Back to the checklist there, and we're ready for takeoff now. So we'll go ahead and taxi, return to you. Go over here. We'll do a quick test of the TCAS system.
TAS system test pass.
Okay, over to the weather radar now, and I'm not sure it's going to work with xEnviro, but we'll warm it up anyway. So into standby mode and back to the map now, and we're good to taxi out. There'll be a taxi to the right here. Alrighty, let's get going. Alrighty, so brakes are coming off, and throttle into taxi mode, and taxiing, Tron.
Then I'll be behind you.
You can see us taxiing out there on the chart, guys. We're taxiing out here to the left, around to the left. Excuse me. Oops, that was the wrong button to push. Okay, and then we continue taxiing it down here, and we can take off on Alpha 4. We don't need to go to the full length of this 9,000 foot runway, or almost 10,000 foot runway. We can depart from Alpha 4. This the good thing about the TBM, it doesn't require a lot of space to get airborne here. I've never been to Norway before in the sim, I don't think. Well, maybe I was at the sim. Maybe I was in Norway during World Flight where we flew in. I can't really remember. But so far so good. The xEnviro clouds don't look too bad. I don't know. I haven't heard anyone's comments about the clouds out the window here at the moment. It is sunrise here in Norway here at the moment, so you are getting some of that golden particle effect through the through the sky and the clouds, which is why there are a bit of a multitude of colours here. Okay, pulling up at the holding point here. This should be Alpha 4, which it is. Okay, up here at the holding point. And brakes are on, parking brake is now set, and thank you for the warning. Back to the checklist. Okay, so parking brake is set, throttle is flight idle, and we want to feather the throttle twice. We did one more. Which we've done. Flaps. One stage of flaps out. The de-icing system as required. Flight controls have been checked and we've been taxiing fine with the rudder. The trims are set. The pilots and passenger belts. Everyone's strapped in. Strobes, CAS. We've only got the inertial separator and the parking brake signs on. Over to you. We've got landing lights on. Excuse me. Aux P switches auto. Flight instruments. Altimeter settings checked. Landing fuel elevation checked. Takeoff distance rotation. Yeah, all that's done. Okay, return. Let's go. So it is on out for the TCAS. We'll go ahead and turn that to operate. Zoom it out a little bit. Nothing's coming down on finals. And let's get going. So one of the things we do need to make sure that we do is the aircraft is expecting us to go down to the end of runway 17 to take off. We're not doing that, so it's got that as the active waypoint. And if you don't fix that up before you do an intersection departure with the TBM, you can have some issues with it. So if we go to flight plan now and we take the active waypoint is runway 17, we're going to make the active waypoint input, which is our first waypoint. Over to you. And go menu, activate leg. There we go. That's what we wanted. And turn the flight plan off, and away we go. Departing now, Tron.
Roger that.
Sip of liquid courage before takeoff? Absolutely, mate. A big sip, eh? That wasn't a really big sip. And I realised I don't have my hat. I don't have my... Oh, hang on a sec, guys. Hang on. There we go. Geez, almost ruined the whole thing. Oh god, that's annoying. Ah. There we go. That's better. Almost jinxed the whole thing. Alright, let's get going. Merry Christmas, everyone. We are clear right. We are clear left.
What's the button to make input to active?
You've got to go and select it and go activate leg. Alright, let's get going. Yeah, we do trip. Yeah, absolutely. Alright, on the rudder. xEnviro going nuts there. It's really blowy here. Oh, damn. We might go to flaps up. Jesus. I'm not that drunk. What we might do here is go. We might just pause those for a second. Heading, flight control, autopilot on. just get some control here. And we'll go down here and direct to input and nav right there. No VR. No, I broke it. 3.9er. I busted my headset. It turns out you can't leave the headsets in the sun. Otherwise, the lenses act as a bit of a what's the word? Magnifying glass and burn onto the screen. That's what I did. So Oculus very graciously agreed to repair it for me, and it's currently away on repair at the moment. We put our headset on for that flight. Yeah, it was a bit of ouch. I was gutted when I did it, and they don't cover it under warranty. So I very politely was going a little bit of backwards and forwards, and they agreed to do it for me, which was really nice. Getting some in-cloud texture, some in-cloud effects here in xEnviro. A few bumps in the aircraft when we go through. xEnviro will actually put the landing lights on the cloud reflections as you're going through the clouds, so you can turn the landing lights on and off in cloud and see the reflection of the light on the cloud that's passing past. It's really cool. Yeah, even bigger ouch, yeah. It's a bit bumpy around here. Very bumpy. See if we got a weather radar. Oops, that's not the button we want. Weather radar. Mode weather. Oh, we do have a weather radar return in xEnviro. Yeehaw, that's good. Jeez, the old aircraft's getting flung around a little bit. My mum would be absolutely, if my mum was on this flight, she'd be going absolutely bananas right now. She would have been passed out from the fear with all these bumps. The transition is 7,000, so standard set and standard set. Go ahead and turn the lights off. And the inertial separator can come off now as well. Just watching when we turn the inertial separator off, the vent in the engine opens, and the byproduct of that, that lovely light coming through the window there, we get a increase in torque, which you'll see coming up now. We go 87, 88, 89, 90. As the valve in the engine opens up to allow that lovely cold air in, we do get some increased performance. I have to bring it back a little bit. Getting back a little bit. There we go, up we go. Having a little bit of a look at the departure chart just here, you can see that we have passed input and on our way to Bamlo. That's a damn voice. So let's have a look out the window. Let's have a look at lovely xEnviro. Ooh, I don't know how I feel about this part in between the clouds. You right, Tron? Uh-oh. Tron? Uh-oh. Tron? My TBM colleague who's flying...
I hear you talking in the stream, but not in Discord. I am alright.
Ah, it helps if you don't have your microphone muted.
It does help.
It does help a lot. How are you going, buddy? You're up and away, okay?
And now.
Okay, cool. Alrighty, so let's have a quick check of the checklist. So climb, check 124, we'll do 135. Trim, pitches adjusted, your damper is on, the lights we've done, throttle we adjust. The ECS panel, temperature C selectors, ECS panel. Temp C selectors adjust. The ECS, yes, okay, well, yes, of course. I don't even know if we need a checklist item for that. I'll adjust the temperature if I'm hot. I'll cool it. If I'm cool, I'll heat it. Fuel tank gauges, yes. We're checking for symmetry, which we have, and the quantities is what we would expect. The de-icing system is set. Return to you. All right. What's going on, Ground Point Niner? How I was going to ask you, buddy, how is your X-Plane experience going? I know that a little while ago you were getting into it, or getting back into it, maybe. How's that going? Let's get some music in here. Let's get some chills. It's Monday night. We need to chill. Haven't done much with it yet. Just chill and go. There we go. Just what, had other stuff to do. Just what, haven't had the time, or what's been going on? Diagnosed with small cell lung cancer. It was kind of thrown my stream off a bit. Oh, Ground Point Niner, I'm so sorry to hear that. Small cell lung cancer. And that has kind of thrown my streaming off a bit, particularly the schedule of things. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry to hear that as a fellow son with a parent with cancer. I'm here for it. If you ever need anything, if you need to talk, or any support, please don't hesitate to reach out. Yeah, I'm here for if you need anything. My thoughts and prayers are with you and your family. I don't know how I feel about this cloud. So this is the xEnviro settings window, guys. If anyone hasn't seen it, you can do a whole bunch of stuff. Trying to get the view so we can see some clouds, so we can see some tangible difference here. they bringing them to medium softens them out a little bit. You can see maybe that complexity. That hurts your frame rates a little bit. Thanks. Just take it day by day at this stage. I'm flying to Florida a week from today to see him for 6 days. Oh, nice crowd. That's the best thing you can do. He's going to radiation chemo combination treatment starting in the morning for 6 weeks. Yeah, that's exactly what my mother went through. I'm sorry to get all deep and meaningful here, but for those others on the stream, but yeah, she did chemo and radiation therapy. She didn't lose her hair. It really thinned out, but she didn't lose it. And then she had a fairly major operation before that, and then she's off the tail end of that now, with a reversal operation to come. So don't think it's a death sentence at all. There's a lot that it can do. So yeah. What do we got here? Maximus surface wind complexity, in-cloud effects. Yes, windshield effects. I'm wondering if we need windshield effects. Because we already have windshield effects. Maybe we do. Post-processing, lens flare, and rays. Let's get rid of those and see if we get any more FPS. Maybe just a couple FPS from that. Maybe not. But we like those rays. Those rays look good. I'm gonna put those back on. Yeah, that looks good. I like that sun effect through the window. Makes the panel look a lot better, doesn't it? Now we need a torque adjustment. I'm just going to do a quick check, guys. My sound, everyone's happy with the sound volumes here in the stream at the moment. Sounds good. Sounds good. Thanks, Dart. Best friend since birth, got diagnosed with cancer. He was the 11th person to ever get what he had. Wow. Like getting punched in the throat when you find that stuff. How rare for you, bro. Yeah, absolutely. Grand. If there's anything you need, buddy, let us know. Funny, right before Christmas. Our diagnosis with my mother was right before Christmas. Yeah, it was a pretty shitty Christmas, that's for sure. I think about you. xEnviro, I don't know about this weather. What's going on here? Oh. The good old contrails from X-Plane. That looks like a cool photo. Oh, I'm going to take a photo of that. That looks really good. I'm going to use that on the YouTube video. So, that one looks good. Where can we put that? Streaming. TBM-2. Copy, replace that. Actually, I think I'm going to replace that on the Discord. That looks really good. contrast I need to fix. Okay, we are at, where are we at? 290. So we'll give it a little bit of a punch there on the power as we accelerate. We're just going to watch that torque that doesn't creep up on us as we accelerate and the aircraft goes faster. We get a little bit more torque coming through the engine. We just need to watch that it doesn't get over torqued. Yeah, Tron, I'm the same. I don't know how I feel about the edges of these clouds. I stopped using xEnviro due to the performance hit it had, and when I'm using VR, I really need every FPS, single FPS I can get. I need to maintain a constant 45 FPS, otherwise, after everything I've worked out and trial and error and streaming and all this sort of stuff, 45 FPS is my absolute minimum that I have to achieve. At the moment, with a 5.2 gigahertz CPU and 1080, I'm getting 35 to 37 FPS here at cruise, not even in VR, which adds like 10 or 15% to your tax into your system. So xEnviro is heavy. Hopefully they work on that in some of the later versions. It's kind of in the wrong spot. So I stopped using xEnviro back in 1.06 because that was the last VR compatible update, which was compatible by accident, I think they said. And then they redid some stuff in 1.07, 1.08, and we're in 1.09. And yeah, it really looks good on the ground, but in this version, I gotta say, I'm not digging it. I'm digging this lens effect though, that looks really cool, but I'm not digging the cloud at the moment. Drip, we have a 1080, and I'm feeling like for Christmas Santa might bring me a 1080 Ti. I don't think Santa's got enough money to get a 2080, or Santa's partners will fucking shoot him if we get a 10 out of the 2080, so we might have to do with a 1080 Ti. But the problem with X-Plane is if I look at my frame rate time, my CPU timer is 0.2. My frame rate, my GPU frame timer is 0.05. So the GPU is just sitting here idling away going, I love X-Plane, I don't have to do anything. Whereas your CPU is like, bring the lube. Yeah, Drip. Yeah, that 140-ish, I can get 140-ish from the default Cessna and stuff like that. I can go beyond that, but when you start streaming, you overlay complex aircraft, the TBM is a frame rate eater. It'll shave 15 FPS off, or 10 to 15 FPS off you straight away once you power it up. And you run that with a complex weather engine like xEnviro, flying over ortho into complex detailed airports. It is a bit of a scenario, that perfect scenario for having poor performance. And it's funny, you know, my PC is no slouch, and I find that I've started doing a lot of flying in Europe, a lot of flying in the UK. I got Olyx's True Earth, UK, South and Central, and I'll get the North as well. And I found just because because Europe and the UK is so highly density living, or highly populated, and it's such a tight density, that my performance in X-Plane isn't anywhere near what I thought it was. When I thought that I had broken, I'd done something in X-Plane, I'd stuffed a setting, and I went back to basics and all this sort of stuff. Then I went back and flew in Australia and New Zealand, and I was back up where I normally was, because Australia is quite a large continent and quite geographically diverse with only real epicenters at the major locations. Then it's just land. It's just Earth. And then, so I was finding that I got about maybe 30% better performance in Australia and New Zealand versus flying somewhere in Europe. So yeah, it's Drip SLI explained is not like SLI, and SLI is one of those real caveats where a lot of people get bitten by SLI thinking that they're going to get double the performance, where you won't. The game that you're playing needs to be coded to take the advantage of SLI. But one thing people totally mess up, going to hit the lav and snack drill back in a minute. Alright, Tron. Tron's flying with me. One problem that people overlook a lot is the CPUs that you and I typically buy, like the 7700Ks, the 8700Ks, the $300 to $400 gaming CPUs. They've only got 16 PCI lanes. That 16 slot PCI slot you've got in your motherboard, the CPU only has enough lanes for one graphics card. That's why when you see those extreme CPUs and they're like $2,000 or $1,500, you're like, holy shit, that's only a little bit faster. It's the same speed as my CPU, but why is it so expensive? It's expensive because it's got 40 PCI lanes and not just 16. So you can run tri-SLI in that, and you've got the CPU can absorb all that data out of PCI, the PCI Express lanes, and you get a better performance increase. It's marginal. But if you're talking about, okay, well, I've only got a 7700K or an 8700K, what happens if I put another card in it? The CPU can't register any more than 16 PCI lanes, so your motherboard will bring your 16 slot down to 8 times, and your second slot will be 8 times, regardless of whether your motherboard has 2 or 3 PCI 16 lanes on it. If the CPU can't handle it, you've just wasted some money. Anyway, sorry to get all IT and technical there. It's just that stuff that catches people out when they're talking about going SLI or Crossfire. Crossfire might be a little bit different, but
Cheers, M8.
M8. Thank you, mate. I really support the site. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for continuing your subscription to the Fight and Flight Club. A little bit of a few bumps here. Our performance here, we're down to 34, 33, 32, 31 FPS here at the moment. And here I was pulling apart all my streaming stuff to make sure that it wasn't busted. Ah, the sun. Oh. Can I just fucking point out something real quick? We have a use for the sun visor. We have a use for the actual sun visor. That's the first time in like 15 years of flying in a sim that I've ever used the sun visor or something practical. Woo! We use the sun visor, yeah! Yeah! Love this TBM aircraft, love the TBM. Sorry to hear that, Drip. Sorry to hear that, buddy. As a fellow simmer, I'm very sorry. Sun's still coming up. As we go further south, we'll get that sun higher in the sky. It is a bit like that, isn't it, Trip? I'm a little bit disappointed. I don't remember 1.06 that I used to fly using VR to be anything like that. I still don't feel like I still feel like that is less repetitive than Active Sky's high performance and high quality texture packs. I still feel like that is far less repetitive, but it is very, yeah. Oh, sickle cell sarcoma, you're talking about the cancer, not the, this. I was referring to that. My apologies, I totally misread that. You end up building your own PC. What did you end up putting in it, if you don't mind me asking? So you got a 1080 Ti. What CPU did you end up getting?
Thank you to the community.
Oh, Jerry, thank you so much for the donation there. I really do appreciate it. That takes us to the goal. Woo! Woo-hoo! We got to the goal, guys. Party! Jerry, thank you from the bottom of my heart. What you do does make a huge difference when we donate it. We are raising money for Beyond Blue, which is a fantastic organisation that raises awareness and helps those dealing with their mental health, so anxiety, depression, and suicide. What I will do is take an opportunity here to play a little video and show you all what you're helping to support. See you in just a sec.
Let's agree that everyone has things they have to deal with. Maybe something doesn't feel quite right. Or things just seem too much. And that may leave you feeling anxious or overwhelmed, maybe even depressed. If you're going through a tough time, sharing the load with someone you trust can make all the difference. And it's the first step to feeling better. If you feel like you don't have someone to talk to, you can talk to us. We'll point you in the right direction. The Beyond Blue Support Service. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Okay guys, welcome back. Thank you so much again, Joe. Really do appreciate it. Thank you. An 8700K, that is a good choice. So I've got a 7700K, so I've got basically the same CPU minus a couple of cores. I'm seriously thinking about whether I do the jump to the 8700K, retire my streaming PC, and make my my current gaming PC that you're all watching here at the moment my streaming PC. So we'll see. Hey Miss, how you going? Welcome to the stream. How are you doing tonight, or this morning? How you going? Or even afternoon? I don't know where you are, but welcome to the stream nonetheless. So why don't we tell a little bit of a looky here? Probably going to look at when we're actually going to go down. So view, wide, cumulative, and scroll all the way down. 59 minutes. 59 minutes until we are down. So in about 15-20 minutes, I'll look at the approach and the arrival, and we'll get all that set up. Show who's on call. Titan graphics cards and then saw the prices. Yeah, that scares you away from the old Titans, doesn't it? And the thing about it is, like, there was a substantial, I think a substantial enough performance increase to warrant jumping to a 10 series card from the old, like, GTX 980, 980 Ti. There was a fairly substantial jump to the 10 series. That's just not there with the 20 series, and they're relying on this RTX, ray tracing, all that sort of stuff that has to be built into games. It's not an X-Plane, it's not in prepared 3D, it's not in any simulator besides Battlefield 5. Okay, call it a simulator. It might be in a couple of others, but it's nothing mainstream at the moment, and that's where the power of that card comes from. So I can't justify that at the moment, unfortunately. Ninja has SLI with 2 Titans. Like a $24,000 computer. it's I don't know, does he do more than simulating? Because it's I mean, look, if you've got money to burn. Yeah, I feel like, you know, I'm not shy from burning money, right? Like if I really had to stop. I pre-ordered the 2080 Ti and cancelled my pre-order at the last minute. And because the moment it was released or available for pre-order on the NVIDIA website, I put my order in. I placed a slot in the queue for the i7-9900K, and then I went and did some research, and then all the benchmarks came out, and it's a giant pain in the arse to overclock. And it really struggles with doing 5 gigs on all cores. It throws out a tremendous amount of heat. Whereas the 8700K, 1 core less, a couple of threads less, I think it's a far better option than going to 9900K. I was a big Fortnite streamer, okay. Well, there you go. Maybe that makes a difference to Fortnite. I feel like Fortnite's probably not as graphically intensive given the cartoon aspect of it. But hey, look, if you got the money, it makes you happy. I don't know. I don't want to talk about how many thousands of dollars that I've spent in the pursuit of my hobby, which is obviously this. So.
Don't you know about the bird? Well, Peter's gonna tell you about the bird.
Larrick, hello and welcome to the stream, my friend. We are flying from Norway, from Bergen in Norway, down to a very horribly, what's the word? We're flying to Hamburg, Germany, I guess, for lack of a better way of putting this. That's totally socked in with
And his
weather.
name is John C.
Epic graphics, mainly if is crazy. Well, you got to remember. Then, Miss, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the channel. If you got any questions, please shout out. But you got to remember, there's games that have to be. It's high FPS because those games are built around SLI. Unfortunately, our simulators, even X-Plane, and still gets into Vulkan, which opens up so much more. We are really tied to a high CPU, clock speed versus having a shitload of cores, which is really unfortunate. So that's why you see, if you look down in the Twitch information stream, you see my CPU's running at 5.2. Just to try and get the most out of good old X-Plane. Prepared 3D is no different in that regard to X-Plane. It loves a high CPU core versus a lot of threads. It does use the threads for other things, but it benefits the most from a high core clock speed. Flight gear. I'm on the fence a little bit about flight gear, and I'm on the fence about being in business, and you know, and churning through my MBA, my master's, and my master's degree. I understand the importance of competition and variety in the marketplace. However, I'm a little bit torn in this because we are quite a small marketplace, and splitting us off I don't think helps anyone. It's like NVIDIA. It's like NVIDIA versus NVIDIA versus ATI, or Intel versus ATI in regards to CPUs or graphics cards. It's that Goliath battle between X-Plane and Prepared. And then you've got the other ones that are doing stuff. And I don't like I'm torn. I really am, and I'm really doing a crap job of explaining this. I get the whole variety in the marketplace. Lots of competition helps us have a better end product as a consumer. But we are quite a small user base, and I think that we've got to be careful not to get too much variety in that marketplace. Otherwise, and Fly Inside's a little bit the same, but they're making their own simulator. I don't know if I agree with that. And we've got some really established products with 90% of the add-ons available for either of those two sims. So, or in FSX, FSX is there as well. Anyway, guys, I will be right back here just for a second. Just give me 1 second. I'm just going to have to take a very quick work call, so I'll be right back. Sorry guys, I am back. Sorry, I do apologise for that. Okay, we're still upright, which is good. Oh, look at here. Sorry, real point niner. Sorry, buddy. I had to take a very quick work call. Can you bump your mic sensitivity a tiny bit? Hard to hear you from me, but could be the TBM drain. Yeah. My mic volume, Tron. Is that what you mean? Is that any better, man? Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. No different for me. Oh, guys on the stream, am I a little bit drowned out by the music or the TBM sound at all? Do you need me to adjust the mic? I just want to double check if it's not just Tron. Maybe no one else can hear me. No, nothing horrible. Do I need to lower some volumes at all, guys? Do I maybe need to turn that volume down a little bit? Does that help you guys out a little bit? Alright, let's have a little bit of a look here on the graphic map of just how far we are. So we're, I guess we're pretty close to the halfway mark. That's better. Awesome. No worries, Jerry. Thank you very much. We are about the halfway mark now, as you can see here on the chart. So we might start having a bit of a look at at Hamburg. Beautiful, awesome, guys. No worries. So I'm just downloading the charts for Hamburg here. I did manage while I took that phone call to get a sneaky another beer in, so that's good. Bit of liquid courage for the landing. I don't think I've ever been to Hamburg Airport before. I feel like it's quite a big airport because the charts are taking forever to download. It's always a bad sign. Tron and I were just talking, the guy that's flying behind me, about doing some Alaskan flying into some dirt strips and stuff like that, really taking the TBM to its limit. So look out for that in the coming weeks. We'll be doing a lot of flying up in Alaska in bad weather into really small fields. A mix of VFR and IFR flight should be really good. Speaking of Tron, the guy that's flying behind me, you can see him just here, about 30 miles behind me. Let's go to vertical here. No, nothing on the weather. The 7.6, yeah, so we've turned the active sky weather turbulence down. That was very reminiscent, like I think I said on the stream, that was very reminiscent of flying in Bali when I was flying in prepared with active sky. Just really unrealistic turbulence effects. So that's been turned from 100% down to 50. Translated somehow negative one. Hey, but Trip, that's just the quality of the pilot you have in front of you right now. Right? Right? Oh, dear. Ah, great. He's beating me on views. This guy just here. Let me bring up. There we go. So this guy here, Gradley does a great job. He's a big supporter of my channel here, guys, and I highly recommend going and checking him out. I think he's flying in VR. He's flying in VR at the moment, doing what I do. He does a good job. Don't check him out right now though. Keep watching me still, yeah. I think the one feet per minute might be the second bounce, where it might have been that I touched down on the left side, it might have been the right just coming down. And then we almost drove off the runway. We don't have to go through everything that happened, okay? We don't have to relive the fact that we almost went off the runway. There's a bug in the 767 that kind of disables my nose wheel steering on rollout. Steamception. What arrival did we have? Excuse me. What arrival did we have? We had a Gecko 02. And then what do we got here? Gecko. I can't even see it on the arrivals. Gecko 2 Golf. I don't know. What was the actual arrival? What was the number of the arrival? I always get that mixed up. I always look at the wrong thing. Gecko 2F. Okay, that's the one we want. Oh no, a quick battery change. This little guy here. Switch him in there. Turn him back on. Put my little Steel Series cap back on the end of my headset here. There we go. And then plug my little battery back into charge. A little wireless Steel Series headset with removable rechargeable batteries. If you're ever thinking about a true wireless headset, these things are fantastic. They don't make them anymore, so sucked in. But there is a new version which is even better. Tron is right, he did land at a wind farm in northern Italy at minus 23,000 feet per minute. Amazing pilot, yeah, it does. That takes commitment. Landing at minus 23,000 feet per minute shows real commitment. What have we got here? Have we got Leroy on yet? Where's Leroy? He's not around. I see a little post there, Tron. Your clouds look better than mine, Tron. Guys, doing a little bit of a selfless. That's the word I'm thinking about. A little bit of an instant invite there, guys, for those of you that haven't joined the Discord. We have got a fantastic Discord. It's filled with people like Milo. Good evening to you, Milo, who go out of their way to help our simmers. We've got people that fly X-Plane, Prepared 3D. We've got people that play Farm Simulator, Elite Dangerous. DCS, and we've got a Leroy. We do have a Leroy. It was a tactical military landing, yes. And we also post a lot of screenshots and useful information. You can go to the resources section and see an up-to-date list of every mod that I use. So if you want your sim to look like mine and have really crappy repetitive shit clouds like xEnviro at the moment, you can go there and get all that. For those of you in the stream, can I get some updated weather, please? So where are we flying? Can I get a meta, please, for Echo Delta Delta Hotel? So if you do exclamation mark meta, METAR, space Echo Delta Delta Hotel, we get the weather there. And Tron beat everyone to it. Milo, no, it's a little bit repetitive. So we're flying from Bergen in Norway down to Hamburg in Germany in the TBM using xEnviro, which looked amazing on the ground and looks pretty dodgy above the cloud. What have we got here? So the wind is 130 at 6. It's variable between 100 degrees and 170. The visibility is down to just 800 meters. You've got fog, and I really need to remember what R33/190N means. It's Ooh, my pen. I do remember that. R23 is. I should remember that. I don't get it enough, and my bloody bad memory means I forget it. There's fog there. The temperature is 1 degree. Dew point is 1. QH1018. Yeah, right. A trip. Yes, true drip. And you could have corrected it by going up and pressing the trim cutoff switches. It gets me a little bit disappointed and angry and upset when stuff like that happens, and especially when it's such a simple fix. I wasn't there. I'm not a 737 pilot. You know, but still. What do we got here? 1015. Devod, okay. Okay guys, let's have a little bit of a look here at our arrival. So I do apologise, this chart is very, very large. So this is, as you can see just here, this is the GCOG 2 Foxtrot arrival with some speed restrictions, maximum 250 knots below 10,000, or as advised by its ATC, and not applicable within Class C airspace, none of which apply to us. We won't do more than 250 on the descent. I'll do you flight in the A319. I'll do your flight. You're going to come down from in the A319. That's good. Do it, buddy. Absolutely. So if we have a look over here, we're coming in from GCOG over here, and there is a height restriction. We need to be at GCOG between 140 and 200. DH 932 between 11,000, flight level 110 and flight level 150. It's then down to DH 933. We want to be between flight level 70 and flight level 100. Down to DH 486. We've got a max of 220 knots. Yeah, we probably will be around 220 on the descent, so we just need to be mindful of that. And then down into DVOD with a minimum of at least 170 knots, so we just need to be mindful of that, and at least 3,000 feet or above. That will take us on to the arrival, which is this chart here, and you can see DVOD just here. We'll do the ILS localizer approach into runway 15. It's 10955 and course 150. It's down here. We've got a lowest minimum safe altitude within 10 nautical miles of the field of about 2,100 feet. The missed approach we have to go around, and I'm anticipating that we might have to here. It's climb straight ahead to DME 3 ALF, so we need to make sure that we get ALF in there, and then turn left and track direct to Ham via climbing to 4,000 feet. Okay, we've got minimums of 253 feet, and we're coming into runway 15, which is this nice long runway, and we're going to go down the end here into this. We'll probably break off here on Golf and go around here. I think that's RPT here on the right. We'll go break off right on the Golf. So we have got a lovely long runway here of 12,000 feet long. Jeez, we need to stop flying into these huge airports. So if we get a little bit higher on the approach, I'm not too worried. We've got a nice long runway to do. Okay, so in answer to your question, Tron, we are going to be loading the GCOG to Foxtrot arrival, so I'll do it now, so follow along at home. Captain didn't take over until 19th dive, I do believe. Wow, drip. Wow. What do we want? So we want to go flight plan. We'll go back to narrow. We'll go to procedure. Bring the arrival. The GIC to Foxtrot. Enter and load. Go back to the flight plan, you can see the arrival there, GCOG, yeah. And we want to go procedure, load the arrival, load the approach, the ILS for runway 15, and it's from GIC Ooh, that's interesting. Bog 15. We might just have to go vectors on the sky. I thought we would have. That's interesting. LBV, where's LBV? LBV's over there. We don't want to go there. Okay, so we'll go vectors. The minimums we want is on, and we want Barrow, and we want 253. You guys can't really see that. There we go, 253. We can't do we'll go into 250. We'll go ahead, enter, and load that. Proceed to what we got there. So gear cog, we want to be between what? We want to be gear cog at flight level 200 to 140. That's fair enough. We can go to gear cog at 200. Hit enter on you. That gives us a vertical path, and we've got 9 minutes until our top of descent. So let's go ahead now and set a countdown, a timer. 9 minutes. We'll set it to about 5 minutes. I set it to 4 minutes and do the countdown, and then we'll enable VNAV and do all the rest of it we need to do. Hey Spax, yeah, welcome to the stream, buddy. xEnviro, it looks pretty. I don't rate that cloud. Let me get rid of the chart. I don't rate that cloud there. Bruh, I've been here heaps. Spax, I know you've been here, but have you been on the stream? I haven't seen you chat the whole night. Don't go giving me grief. I used 1.06 of xEnviro I don't know, about 6 months ago when I started streaming, and I don't remember the clouds looking like that. So it looks like we're coming out of the clouds. One thing, have you noticed, guys, that there's no weather popping, there's no cloud popping in xEnviro, no cloud reload. The cloud hasn't, none of these clouds have disappeared once. We are flying out of the clouds, and all that weather is behind us. We're flying out of the weather. The weather doesn't reload because we've gone over the top of a weather station, and that weather station didn't have any cloud, and all of a sudden we have no cloud. We're flying out of the weather because the weather ahead of us is cav okay. Well, it's a lot better than that. So that's what is going on there. Oh yeah, we have got 3J clouds actually too. It's making zero difference to any of the xEnviro stuff. Well, Spac, we are trying a little bit different, something a little bit different. We're trying xEnviro for this flight rather than Active Sky. Tron, we don't activate the approach until we won't activate the approach until we're over or almost upon DVOD, and then we'll activate the approach. Yeah, coming into DVOD, we'll activate the approach. Milo, we're not using Active Sky, we're using xEnviro, and no, it is very much not on. How do I activate when I'm there? Tron, so when we're on approach to DVOD, so here we go. So when we get over the top of DH458 and we're on approach to DVOD, we'll activate the approach. Because DVOD is the start of our ILS. A couple of bumps here, so what do we want? We want to go ahead and put us into heading mode. We want to change the CDI and change it to course 150. So what have we got? It is 150. Maximus 150, CDI 2, 15, whoops. which we've got set there. Back to nav now and back on. We want nav 1. What do we want? We want the ILS frequency 109.55. We'll switch you, go down to that, and we want, oh, that's our timer done. We want 115.8. 115.8, switch you, which we've done. We'll go down here to PDF. We want bearing 1 and bearing 2 on. We should get 129 nautical miles. That's exactly what we're going to do. That is done. Okay, so flight plan. We are within 5 minutes, so we can go ahead now and set our altitude down to. We'll go down to about, what do we got here on the arrival? We'll go down to about flight level 70. 70, and we'll go ahead and activate VNAV now, which we've gone and done. DJ Brett Adams, does xEnviro at least get the Asus right? SkyMax Pro drives me insane that even with the weather connector, the weather and the Asus reads never match the downloaded meta. DJ, xEnviro does a pretty damn good job of that, and there's no weather popping. So there's a gap in the weather there. We've come up on the weather. I rate xEnviro from that perspective. The weather seems to be pretty accurate. I think the weather looks better when you're going through it and you're under it rather than being on top of it at the moment. But if you go and search Facebook for xEnviro and you look at version 1.10 that's coming down the pipeline, I might as well uninstall Active Sky. They're putting for the first time. They're putting proper volumetric cloud into X-Plane, where it's actually a 3D object that you fly through. It's not a flat texture that just rotates around you as you fly through it. It's a physical object that you fly through. So I am looking forward to version 1.10. He's very talented, the dev team over there. It's not VR compatible in version 1.10, but they've assured me that it will be not too far beyond version 1.10. And they are a very talented team over there at xEnviro. They do some amazing work. Spax, you can, absolutely, very much so. Thank you for asking too. Well, let's go and have a look here, guys. Save you opening that link if you like. I'll bring it up on stream here. Let's have a look. Let's have a little look here at version 1.10. Hopefully this isn't a porno. That would be pretty embarrassing. xEnviro. There we go. Proof of concept. There you go, guys. You're moving through the cloud. So this is real cloud weather, moving with the wind. Tron, you need to press enter on that last waypoint, that last altitude, that white altitude of 20,000 feet. Hit enter on it. It should populate within 5 minutes of your top of descent. Bring your altitude down and press VNAV. Oh, this is a bit of an old video. It doesn't look that repetitive anymore. So this is flying through a 3D object in X-Plane, which is what we don't have at the moment. Yeah, DJ, I'm on that now. I'm on that version of the TBM now. That's a bit of an old video, guys. Let me see if I can find you a new video here real quick. One thing I forgot to add is xEnviro are bringing in, let's top of descent now, are bringing in, what are they doing? They're bringing in seasons. And the way that they're doing it is the longer it's snowing at your airport that you're flying to, the bigger the build-up of snow at the airfield is. It's dynamic. So if it's been snowing there for hours, it's going to be a white wonderland. If it's just started snowing, the snow is going to build up over time, live in the sim. That's pretty cool. Let's have a look at this video just here. So this is one of the latest videos. It's not just a collection of cloud texture layers. It's a 3D physical object in X-Plane. Spax, you may do. I'm an xEnviro at the moment. I've got a 5.2 gigahertz computer and I'm sitting here at 36 FPS. Let's have a look here. He's got a couple of other videos that do it a little bit more justice. Let's have a look at those. The snow accumulation test. So this is what I was talking about. The longer that it's snowing at the destination airport that you're flying at in X-Plane, the more it's going to build up snow. That's what's coming to X-Plane, guys, in the next version of xEnviro. We started out green. We ended in snow. That's coming in the next version of xEnviro. What do we got here? That's pretty funny. I'm just going through the Facebook there to show you guys some of the stuff. Just to show you a couple of little videos and screenshots here. What can I find you that looks pretty good? Yep. Some thunderstorms here. This is Facebook. Some towering thunderstorms. I wouldn't fucking fly through that in the TBM. Yeah, a lot different to the clouds. There's a little bit of repetition in there. You can see a bit of a checkered pattern, and they're aware of that. They're working on that now. But that gives you a pretty good idea, guys, of what that new version of xEnviro is going to look like versus that, which is 1.909. What's going on with... Wow, we zoom in, look at what we get there. That's I feel like that's a setting in my sim though. I feel like that's a setting here in xEnviro. Like it's maybe it's not. Anyway, we're on descent. The sunlight in our eyes here. Well, DJ, obviously, Active Sky has that feature. If you tune to 122.05, I think you get your departure airport 122.2. You get the arrival, so that's cool, and I like that feature in Active Sky. I rate them for that. Yeah, if they had that in xEnviro, that would be pretty good. Mr. DJ Sean looking buff as per. Hey, Burnout, welcome to the stream, buddy. Larry, that was pretty quick. Oh, I drank too much beer. I need to pee. Oh, let's drink some more. Okay, what's the transition altitude in Germany? Is it 7,000? Oh, I think it might be 6,000. We are just starting the arrival now, so if we bring the chart up, whoops, that was not the right button to push. You can see here, if I zoom in, you can see a little magenta arrow is us. We're just about over the top of Gigog at flight level 200. Oops, and there, I need to go actually put some more arrivals in flight plan. What do we got here? Down to 10,000. I just need to grab that vertical profile because I missed it a little bit. Epic Ninja Cheese. Hey, buddy, I haven't seen you for ages. Welcome to the stream. How you doing? We're just flying from Norway, from Bergen in Norway down to Hamburg in Germany. The weather isn't great in Germany at the moment in Hamburg, but that's okay. Speaking of the weather in Germany, can I get an updated meta for Hamburg, please? It's Echo Delta Delta Hotel, please. Oh yeah, it could be better. Oh, I'm Epic, you're alright. Thanks, Tron. So 1306 again. The visibility is only 800 feet. Sorry, 800 meters. There's fog. QH1018, I'll be good. Alright, Epic, I hope you are, buddy. Okay, we'll go sit that one there. We are actually seeing some ground. My lovely ortho scenery that I've got for this area is finally starting to come through this repetitive xEnviro cloud. That sun. Oh, I love that the visor does something. I love that the visor does something. So cool. Sorry, I'm geeking out on that. I love it. I'm a wizard. Tron, just remember when you get close to 10,000, hit enter on the flight level 200, hit enter on the flight level 10 to get your other vertical path going. So when I zoom in with the mouse wheel, we get this going on in xEnviro. Like, what's that? I don't know what that is. That's a bit funky. Okay. So DH935, we're approaching, and we are a little bit high on the profile of that. Tron, just do 10,000. Hit enter on 10,000, and that should suffice. Oh, Jesus! Talk about getting thrown away around. Jesus. All right. Bit of a few bumps, never hurt anyone, right? Oh, I really need to pee. Do you think I have time to pee? No, I don't have time to pee. Alright, I got time to pee. I'll be right back. Okay, I am back, and yes, I washed my hands. Need a soft drink bottle. The Can 2K, welcome to the stream, my friend. We are using a weather engine called xEnviro, which is a replacement weather system for X-Plane. It's a complete weather system with some really. We're just getting bumped around a little bit with some really nice. Environmental effects, the cloud texture, yeah. My version does drip, my version does. Oh, so much room, I can drink again. No worries, the Can. If you've got any other questions, buddy, please shout out while I get sick here from the turbulence. You missed the exclamation mark there, what do we got here? Back to flight plan. DH 458 and DVOD down to 3000. What have we got? The Can 2K, thank you so much, buddy, for the follow. Welcome to the stream, my friend. If you got any questions, like I said before, or comments, please shout out. Just don't be a stranger. What do we got here? Whoa, a bit rocky. Hang on. Yeah, Milo, it got a bit bumpy there, didn't it? Very bumpy. So down we go. Let's have a little look at the weather radar here. Are we getting any returns here? We probably want to do a bit of a tilt down here. So what have we got here? BRG, and we want to go up 1 and go down 1 degree. Enter on you. There we go. Get a little bit of a return there. Favourite drink of choice? I'm a Scotch man. I like my Scotches, single malt whiskies. But I'm on beers tonight. I've got some Stella, nothing too fancy, just my go-to. Something to have in the fridge. It's a bit fucking bumpy here though for a beer. Fucking hell. Well, there's 10,000. We need to keep our descent going. Oop. Down to 3,000. I got a little bit slack there and got away. The aircraft got away from me just for a minute. And we're catching that vertical deviation. We definitely
I love Scotch. I love Scotch.
Scotch.
Scotch. Here it goes down.
Down to my belly. Guys, for those of you on the stream who are new, if you do !sounds, you can get all the sounds that you can play on the stream, or !commands for all the other stuff that you can have a bit of a look at as well. One more question, sorry. No, you don't have to apologise. Is there a website for good FSX mods? FSX?
Excuse me? I happened to be passing, and I thought you might like some coffee. Oh, that's very nice of you. Thank you. Cream? No, thank you. I take it black. Like my man.
Oh, Can, we're X-Plane men over here, men and women. All prepared 3D. Yeah, we aren't huge fans, I think, of Microsoft Flight Simulator X, buddy. Yeah, I'm probably not much help to you in that regard, unfortunately, buddy. I haven't used FSX for a better part of 5 years. Oh, look at that ortho there, guys. Look at some of that beautiful satellite scenery outside our windows here. This is X-Plane. Yeah, mate, this is X-Plane. Try not to spill my beer here. I don't think I stream prepared Milo. I don't think I've got that. I don't think I've done it. God damn it. Yeehaw. Have your balls on strapped for coming into Hamburg. Whoa, this is a bit. That was a bit intense. Hold on. God, I'm gonna break this TBM. Yeah, Milo, the default clouds aren't too bad, absolutely. Jesus. Oh. Oh, come off it, xEnviro. Don't break my aeroplane. What shear did the flight plan have on it? R1, Milo, pretty light, but we're only at 28,000 feet. AR, sorry, Drip. AR, got close. Meta. Alright, we're out of the killer turbulence by the looks of it. There we go. 140 at 6. The visibility's come up. 110, so 1.1 kilometers. Down to 3,000. We want to activate the approach now. Procedure. Activate approach. Enter. Down to 3,000 feet. Localizer. And approach mode.
Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear.
Shush. Came in a bit hot there. Okay, we are in cloud at -4. We just want to keep an eye on the anti-ice here and just make sure that we're doing all right. Very low ceilings. Yeah, absolutely. Broken at 100 feet. Overcast at just 200 feet. Fuck. Okay. So the elevation of the airfield is 53 feet. We're going to break out. We're going to be about 200 feet AGL here when we do the breakout. Gear down. This is going to be interesting. I don't think we're going to get in. Pulse lights will put on. Yeah, this is going to get spicy. Absolutely. Alright, so the fog layer is below us, so unlike active sky at X-Plane, xEnviro's put the fog layer below us. We're going to descend into the fog layer, something that I like about xEnviro. You should do a VFR approach. Yeah, the cloud base is really low. I don't think we're going to get in. I really don't. Let's have a look here. At the chart, the go around is fly to 3 DME, then turn left and track to Ham VOR, climb to 4,000. So let's go ahead now and set 4,000 on the altimeter, the altitude indicator, which we've set 4,000. One stage of flap. No way you get in without having to drop a check at the mechanic. And 2 stage of flap. Okay, coming in on the checklist now. We want the internal separator on. That was all that done. Descent we did. Approach we did. Landing gear is down 3, and we'll check down, which it is. Flaps. Yeah, autopilot off at 200 feet. Yep. Return. Zoom in a little bit. Bits if you land with no damage. 1,000 bits. There's a ding, that's the inertial separator on. That's what we want on. This approach was really nice. We came in on the nice angle that took us down the approach and then took us straight onto the ILS. I love those straight in approaches. Just watch the speed there, getting a little low. About 85, 90 I want to maintain. Yeah, missed 2 as well. A bit of liquid courage.
And his name is John C.
Richard Train, thank you so much for the follow, my friend. Welcome to the channel. If you've got any questions or comments, please shout out. Alright, what do we got? 11, so we're at 1,100 feet. We're going to have a decision height at 253 feet. Doing about 97, a little bit quick down the approach.
I've got to concentrate. I've got to concentrate. Hello? Hello? Echo.
We're not getting in. Yeah, well, if it's overcast at 200 feet, we're going to break out at 200, and we're going to hit our decision height at 203 feet AGL. Oh, I see power lines. Did anyone see power lines there? I think I saw power lines. I see trees.
They bought their tickets. They knew what they were getting into. I say, let them crash. We've broken out. Oh, we might be right here. I like xEnviro. When you're in the weather, xEnviro is by far the best. Guys, I think we're going to be right here. Oh, that high intensity approach lighting is on. Oh.
Airspeed.
Whoop.
Minimum.
Yeah, we'll go. We'll keep it. A little bit low. Whoop.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Getting slow.
Beautiful. There we go. We're down. Well, I didn't think we would get in, but we did. I didn't think we'd get in. I did not think we would. All right, the ground chart. We need to keep this moving along. Well, we touched down at -116. That's not too bad. This would have been a great VR approach. Yeah, Drip, you're absolutely right. That would have been amazing in VR. What do you think of xEnviro? Yeah, epic. I'm gonna, when I pull up off the bay, I'll do a little bit of a wrap up. Don't worry. Give me a minute. Give me like 2 or 3 minutes, and I'll do it for you. All right, let's zoom in here. There we go. So, oh, we might. We've got a long way to go. Where's Tron? Whereabouts are you, Tron? What altitude are you at?
5,200 is heading down to 3,000 right now. I'm 8 miles from DH458. I just had to wait.
Ah, that's cool. No worries. So what's the communication they use for aviation? You know, what do you? Sorry, what do you mean by that question? Sorry, buddy, I'm just not following you. It is at the moment, buddy. Yeah, it's about $69, I think. Just waiting to get off this this airport here. There you go. This is us. There we go. Alrighty, let's turn you off. The taxi light is on, and we'll go up to the bay here and pull up. So what do we got here? Good old Hamburg. I love the X-Plane default scenery. They do a really good job here of this scenery. Longest runway ever, absolutely. Scare bus driver. Awesome name. Nice approach, mate. Those visuals are very close to reality for fog. Is this the xEnviro beta scare bus? No, this is xEnviro. We might just pull up in one of these bays just here, I reckon. We don't need to go into a huge long taxi. We'll go over this taxi line over here and then pull up. This is version 1.09s. Very much looking forward to the other version, the next version 1.10. And yeah, if you just wait a second, I'll do a bit of a summary about xEnviro for you in just a second, and it'll all make sense. Okay, so we're just going to pull up here, jump on the brakes a little bit. There we go. Okay, that on the brakes. Nice, and on the ground in one piece, like the codes that they use. Oh, shush, aeroplane. Alright, hang on a second. Let's get this aircraft shut down. So what we want to do is just get rid of that for now. So everything goes off except the initial separator. Whoops. Yes. AC off. Bleed is off. The AP trims, I like to reset my trim for takeoff here while I'm on the ground and it's ready for when I next take off. The TBM remembers everything. It's a bit like my partner. They remember everything. So that's done. So we turn the AP trims off. The fuel selector off. We can turn the strobes off, taxi light off. Yeah, Scarebus. So I stopped originally at 1.06 because that was the last VR compatible release of xEnviro. So I thought I'd just go straight to 1.09s, and I've got to say I'm not wild about it, and I'll tell you about it in just a sec. So checklist, okay, so we're on the bay here. So airframe de-icing, yes. Prop de-icing is off. Windshield, yes. Off. Pitot off, yes. Off. Radar is off. Transponder, whoopsie. Transponder is on standby. The flaps are up, the strobe lights are off, the lights are off and the trims are set. Shutdown, park brake is on, bleed switch is off, AC switch is off, throttle, flight idle for 2 minutes, which we've done. Taxi light is off, AP trim switch is off, and throttles to cut off. We'll get rid of the headset. And shutting down, we'll crack the door. The inertial separator we want to open, close you, exits, and turn, oops, we want ignition to auto, we want to turn you to off. All lights Lights off, off, off. Fuel selector off. Oxygen is off. Parking brake is set. That's the shutdown checklist complete. Let's go ahead now and we'll crack open that back door. There we go. Open this door here. And come down here and turn the aircraft off so I don't kill my battery. So bus off, you're off, and pull you down. The chocks are in, and we'll go ahead and put all the tyres on. There we go, and that'll go on when we need it. And I like to fill the aircraft back up when I've finished, just so I make sure that it's a little bit easier for the next flight. And there you go, guys. We are sitting here on the deck in a very foggy Hamburg. Sean, have you tried Ultra Weather XP with Active Sky XP? Milo, I haven't, and it's next on my list. I definitely keen to try it. Seems heaps are using this combo. Yeah, I agree with you, absolutely, buddy. FN Winter, how did you get X-Plane 11.30? Well, FN Winter, it is released now. If you have the beta box ticked, I think the next release is 11.30 release 1, and I find I get a little bit better performance in it than 11.26. Since they patched the TBM, which made it 11.30 compatible, I always create two instances of X-Plane, 11.26 and 11.30, which used to be the betas. I've now switched them around and I've retired 11.26, and 11.30 is now my primary flight sim. Okay, so let's have a little bit of a chat about xEnviro. A little bit of a chat. So let's come up through the cloud there. There's that fog layer that we punched through. We're coming out of it now. And there's that typical circle around our location that xEnviro models to get the weather to work. As you can see there, a nice spinning circle. That's no different from the way X-Plane does its weather. You've got a little pocket around your aircraft that it loads all the weather. But xEnviro, so xEnviro is heavy on your FPS, no shadow of a doubt. But it's not just a weather injection system; it's a whole replacement weather system for X-Plane. So if you think about it, Active Sky injects weather into the sim, and the sim populates it. xEnviro is a replacement sim for all your atmospheric stuff. It's all your shading stuff. It's shaded. It's your sun textures. It's your cloud textures. It's self-contained weather environmental system, and that does tax your performance on your computer a little bit. I think I get about a drop of about 10 to 15 FPS with xEnviro, and then when you load on the 10 or 15 FPS drop that you get with the TBM on top of it, it can be a bit of a crunch there for those of you that may have limited CPU performance and or video card performance. How does it compare to Active Sky? I love Active Sky. Turn the turbulence setting down to just 50% with Active Sky, and I'm pretty comfortable using just the default X-Plane 11 R1 cloud textures with Active Sky. I think it looks pretty good. There is weather popping in Active Sky. There is no weather popping or cloud redrawing in xEnviro. xEnviro has all the weather ahead of the aircraft already preloaded. It's already there waiting for you to fly into, which is something that I really, really like. For those of you, when I end the stream and I upload it to YouTube and you can rewatch it, you'll notice during the flight there is no weather popping. There's no cloud repopping. So the cloud, your weather does not disappear for a second and then reload. xEnviro is smart enough to be putting all that weather ahead of your aircraft, and you're just flying into it. You're leaving what you flew over, and you're flying into what's ahead of you. And you'll see that you would have seen that on the approach. So I love that about xEnviro. I just hate that xEnviro is so heavy on your FPS. I'm a VR streamer by heart. It's killing me that my headset's broken and isn't in repair at the moment. But flying the TBM, using xEnviro in VR, I couldn't do. I wouldn't be able to get the FPS to make it worth it. From that standpoint, if xEnviro, and we've played some videos on the stream before, if they can fix the performance a little bit, get it up just a few more, another 5-10 FPS, I think it's a real contender. And those videos that I showed you of the latest version of xEnviro, version 1.10, hey. Thank you so much for the stream. I'm doing the stream and you're doing the following. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the stream. And here comes Tron. Here he comes. So yes, look, in summary, I know I've rambled on a little bit. xEnviro was great. I think it's far better at being in the cloud, in the weather, under the weather, versus being on top of the weather, looking down at cruise altitude. I think it looks pretty crappy. But being in the weather, being under the weather, I think xEnviro is amazing. You didn't really notice it now because it's daylight, but xEnviro, your landing lights, you'll see your landing lights on the cloud as it passes through. When you're flying at night, you turn your landing lights off, the cloud disappears and it's just cloud you're going through. Turn your landing lights back on, you're illuminating the cloud that you're flying through, just like real life. That really does it for me. Those in-cloud effects where it really helps your immersion, where you're flying through cloud, is something that xEnviro nails. Like I said before, being on top of the cloud looking down, you can go back and look at this stream. I don't think it looks very good. I think Active Sky does a better job with the default X-Plane 11 cloud textures. I think that looks better. So it is a real mixed bag. I think the game changer will be when the new version of xEnviro comes out and you've got actual 3D objects to fly around, and you can see some of those videos in the stream if you go back after we end it. So yes, it's pretty interesting. Would I keep flying in xEnviro? In all honesty, you can see some God rays coming through. They're a bit hidden at the moment with my... there was actually some God rays coming through. You can't really see them because of my stuff in the stream. There's some God rays coming through just on the right here of the stream, which look amazing in the sim. Would I keep using it? I think xEnviro was probably a better all-rounder at the moment. I think... xEnviro, I think Active Sky, is a better all-rounder. If you're already struggling for performance, I see very little impact from the default X-Plane weather generation. So if you go in here and you go to weather, you go match real-world conditions, and then you click done, I see very little performance decrease using Active Sky versus that system just here that you can see on the screen. So that's a positive for some. If you're flying a complex aircraft into a very complex scenery area or airport, your FPS is probably something you're looking at. I think Active Sky is great for that. xEnviro will chop 10 or 15 FPS straight off you straight away. So yes. But I love xEnviro. I think it's great. I think they do a fantastic job. I think it looks miles better under here. Like, look here. Look, we've got some look at the God rays out of the clouds just there on the right that you can see. There you go. You can see some God rays coming through the cloud, through the fog. Like, awesome. So yes, I definitely maintain the fact that I think xEnviro looks better when you're under the weather or in the weather than looking over the top of it and down. So completely up to you. All right, guys. Well, Tron, thank you so much for the flight, buddy.
Yeah, sure thing. It was a good flight. Good round.
It was, mate. Thank you. So Tron's above the ground this time. It does look great. Does it model real-world weather down to the storm systems like Active Sky? Epic Ninja, it gets pretty close. I don't know if you saw some of the photos where they were modeling storms in the new version. The towering thunderstorms looked amazing. So it does do turbulence. I've seen it do thunderstorms to the level of detail of Active Sky. I don't know. I don't know yet. I haven't been in enough thunderstorms to know. I think xEnviro retails for about $69, so it is quite hefty, but don't think of it as a weather injector. Think of it as a replacement weather system for X-Plane. Musafa Ray. Okay, guys, well, that's probably going to conclude my stream for tonight. We are back this time tomorrow flying DCS, where we'll get out the Hornet or the Harrier and do some flying. I can actually shoot some stuff down, or at least get shot down. You're going to do some carrier flights anytime soon. Drip, you were typing that as I was talking. DCS tomorrow night. Okay, guys, I will play another quick video from my chosen charity, and then I will see you all again for tomorrow. I am DJ Sean. I'm a charity streamer. I do this to raise money and awareness for charity. We busted our goal of $100 for charity for Beyond Blue this month, which is a fantastic organisation that raises awareness and helps people dealing with anxiety, depression, and thoughts of suicide. So I think we can all agree that's they're three fairly significant topics, and we're raising money for those guys. All your donations are donated in whole, 100%, and it's done all live at the end of the month. Until tomorrow, I'll see you then. Bye for now.
Let's agree that everyone has things they have to deal with. Maybe something doesn't feel quite right. Or things just seem too much. And that may leave you feeling anxious or overwhelmed, maybe even depressed. If you're going through a tough time, sharing the load with someone you trust can make all the difference. And it's the first step to feeling better. If you feel like you don't have someone to talk to, you can talk to us. We'll point you in the right direction. The Beyond Blue Support Service. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.